Welcome back. Let's get writing our solution to push. Okay, so the very first thing we'll do after actually writing the method is create the new node with the value passed in. So let's start there. So on our doubly linked list class, I'm going to add push, which accepts a value because I want to be able to say list.push 50 or .push hello or whatever. So let's make that new node. New node equals new node with that value that's passed in. So we have that new node. Next, we want to check if the list has anything in it. So if the head is empty, empty head, I have the empty head right now. If the head property is null, or if the list is empty, meaning that the length is 0, we could do this however we want. Let's actually, just to show that it doesn't matter, I'm going to do something that I didn't specify. I'm going to say if this.length equals 0, which is another way of just checking if the list is empty. We could also do if this.head is null or if this.tail is null. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to do this. If that's the case, what did we need to do? We need to make the head and tail be the newly created node. This.head equals new node. This.tail equals new node. Otherwise, set the next property on the tail to be the new node. Okay, so let's do else. So this means that there's something in there already. So let's say that the list already has the number 99, and what we need to do is add in 100 at the end. So if this is the current tail, I'm going to say this.tail, which would give me 99, dot next equals the new node. So that gives me the arrow going this way. But then I need to also set this, the new tail, or it's not the tail yet, but it will be, dot previous to be the old tail. So to do that, all I need to do is say new node dot previous equals this dot tail. So that's giving me, I'm going to basically say 100 dot previous, let's see if I can do this arrow backwards, there we go, is the old tail, this dot tail, it's still the current tail actually. And then finally, we need to update the tail to be the newly created node. So I just say this dot tail is now new node, which is now moving. If this was the tail before, this, if I can tab over, is now the tail. Finally, we need to add one to the length. Okay, so that's going to be this dot length plus plus, or plus equals 1, and then return the entire list. Return this. Let's test it out. I just executed my code. Let's make a new list. So I'll just call it list equals new doubly linked list. And then I'll say list dot push. Let's push in a number like 99. Let's look at the list, expand this. It should have head be 99 and tail is 99 and length is 1. All right, list.push one more time. Let's do 100. This time we should have head is 99 and tail is 100. This has a next. The head is pointing to 100, that's good. And the tail, 100, should be pointing back to 99 in the previous. Perfect. Last check, let's do list.push last item. And if we look at our list, length is 3, that's all correct. Everything looks good. Our tail has last item, it points previous to this node, and this node with 100 has both a next and a previous. All right, so that worked. It's pretty similar to what we did with a singly linked list. The main difference is that we have to do a double connection. We have to do a little more work, connect the dot next and the dot previous. Next up is pop, which is a little bit different, much simpler in a doubly linked list.